Good morning, students. Today's class we will see about the June 2015 nursing education question paper. So the first question was define the term learning. What are the characteristics of learning and explain the maxims of learning with examples. Maxims of teaching with examples. Define the term learning. I have given you four definitions here. The first one is by Gardner Murphy. That is the term learning covers every modification in behavior to meet environmental requirements. According to Gates, learning is the modification of behavior through experience. According to Wordsworth, any activity can be called learning so far it develops the individual in any respect that is good or bad and makes his later behavior and experience different from what they would otherwise have been. Kingsley and Gary, they define learning as learning is the process by which the behavior changes through practice or training. Characteristic of learning. That learning is change in behavior. Learning is a continuous lifelong process. It is a universal process. It is purposive and goal-directed. Involves reconstruction of experiences. It is a product of activity and environment transferable from one situation to another. Learning helps in attainment, in that is teaching learning objectives. Learning helps in proper growth and development, helps in balanced development of the personality, helps in proper adjustment, helps in realization of goals of life, does not necessarily imply improvement. Then the maxims of teaching. The first one is proceed from known to unknown. A class on geriatric nursing could be more convincing if the teacher starts the class by inviting the students' opinion regarding peculiarities of and needs of old age people from their own experience and then proceed to further details which they are unknown to them. Second, proceed from concrete to abstract. While teaching central nervous system, teachers should first teach the anatomy of brain with the help of a specimen or a model. That is a concrete aspect. Then teach about different afferent impulses and efferent impulses by using diagram. That is the abstract aspect. Proceed from simple to complex. While conducting class in a pediatric nursing, teacher has to teach simple topics like difference between pediatric nursing and adult nursing before proceeding to complex procedures and disease conditions. Proceed from easy to more difficult. When planning to teach nursing management of a cirrhosis of liver, teacher has to arrange the different aspects of the disease condition in an increasingly order of difficulty like definition, classification, etiology, pathology, pathogenesis, etc. Proceed inductively. A teacher can start the class on amputation by asking a simple questions like what do you say your rose plant if its branches severely infected with a pest or fungus and not responding to pesticides. Proceed from general to specific. While teaching growth and development, teacher explains universal phenomena of growth in general by citing animals and plants as an examples and then proceed to specific features of growth and development exhibited by human beings. Proceed from specific to general. The role of protein in building and repair has to be specified before generalizing the consequence of undernutrition by showing the pictures of emaciated children as their example. Proceed from indefinitive to definitive. A first-year nursing student possesses only some indefinitive and vague idea about nursing, and a talented teacher transforms these ideas to a definitive one by providing details of nursing, definition of nursing, history of nursing, qualities of a good nurse, etc. Proceed from empirical to rational. A first-year nursing student possesses empirical knowledge of placing a wet cloth on a forehead for reducing the temperature. While teaching the nursing management of hyperpyrexia, the teacher has to convert the above said empirical knowledge to a rational one by explaining the scientific principle of placing a wet cloth on a forehead for reducing the temperature. Proceed from wall to part. While teaching osteology, anatomy teacher has to give a brief description of the wall skeletal system by mentioning the functions, total number of bones, etc. before dealing with different individual bones or parts of the skeletal system like clavicle, humerus, etc. Proceed from part to wall. While teaching qualities of an ideal chemical disinfectant, teacher proceed from part to wall by explaining qualities one by one and finally explain the all qualities at the end of the class. Proceed from analysis to synthesis. Nursing management of a disease condition is taught to the students analytically by splitting the content to a component parts like definition, etiology, pathology, clinical features, medical or surgical management, nursing management, rehabilitation, etc. Then they are trained to synthesize all these different components into one whole as needed in order to provide meticulous nursing care to the patient in the clinical area. Proceed from overview to details. While explaining the surgical instruments needed for performing cesarean, teacher has to introduce all the instruments by listing down their names before explaining their use and ways of handling each instrument in detail. From observation to reasoning, a pediatric ward teacher has to provide a chance to the students to observe 10-month-old child who have been admitted with complaints of developmental delay before explaining the reason by herself for asking questions to students regarding hospitalization of the child. Proceed from psychological to logical. While teaching the first year students, even though the teacher possesses in-depth knowledge regarding the nursing care of dying patients, in order to teach a sensitive topic without embracing them, teacher has to consider psychological status or maturity of the students before proceeding logically by explaining the needs content only in a non-threatening manner. The second question, describe the disciplinary problems that may occur at the School of Nursing and how do you manage the disciplinary problems. Some of the type of disciplinary problems that common are disrespect, that is, students speak and act in a disrespectful way to adults and peers. Defiance, students openly refuse to listen to adults or follow directions. Bullying, students consistently intimidate others, often to make themselves feel better. Aggression, students become physically or verbally violent, and peer issues. Principles of disciplinary action. The teacher should have a positive attitude, investigate carefully, be prompt, protect privacy, focus on the act, enforce rules consistently, be flexible, advise the employee or the student, follow up, take corrective action, consistent action. Components of a disciplinary action program. First, the code of conduct. Employees or the students must be informed the code of conduct, agency handbooks, policy manuals, orientation programs. Authorize penalties, records of offense of corrective measures, right of appeal. Other penalties like warning, fines may be discharged, loss of privileges like transfer, demotion, suspension, withholding increment, or the termination, that is the permanent termination of the services. Stages of disciplinary proceeding. Inquiry of major punishment, that is the first is the preliminary inquiry, decision to start formal departmental inquiry, suspension, charge sheet, appointment of inquiry officer, written statement of defense, recording of evidence by the inquiry officer, personal hearing of the charge, report of inquiry officer, show cause notice by the disciplinary authority, reply to show cause notice and decision thereon, review the punishment order, appeal or revision, reinstatement of restitution, show cause notice against withholding or emoluments or suspension period in the case of reinstatement. The third question, computer in nursing education and practice. Admission, design, transfer. It means ADT system allows the nurses to obtain basic biographical information on clients before they arrive to the unit. When a discharge or transfer entered in a computer, all the appropriate departments are automatically notified. The same many phone calls, information about beds and clients' location in the unit also readily available. Nursing documentation, nursing assessment, client's care plan, medication, administration of records, nursing notes, and discharge plans are some of the forms of nursing administration that have computerized. Advantage of this documentation is legible and it can store standard nursing care plans in a format determined by institutions, so to be used by the nurses on the basis of developing individualized care plan. Teaching learning process. Instructing the means computer and teaching learning process, instructing the students using PowerPoint slides, Word documents, or web pages for using hyperlinks for better concepts daily. Ready-made software could give a practice material to students, collecting notes from web pages for detailed information and project, saving documents for soft copy for future, learning through the animations as they are much near to the students, e-books, online libraries. Online encyclopedia helps to guide in minutes and saves precious time and resources. Testing and evaluation process, keeping the records of students for their academic scores, keeping records in relation to personal history, creating question bank for students, online testing and evaluation, analysis and interpretation of data. Electronic healthcare records. Soon the days of endless paperwork, filling out patients' chart and having doctors fax over medical records will be gone for good as more and more hospitals and facilities convert EHR, that is electronic healthcare record, which allow the healthcare providers to access patient information with a few keystrokes. With an extensive patient history easily accessible in all one place, it cuts down the human error, alerts nursing staff to possible drug interactions, and keeps track of diagnostic test results. Tech-driven drug delivery. Many hospitals are implementing drug delivery systems in the form of implantable devices that release medication to the patients. This aids the Registered nurses, since they can schedule complex dosing to ensure patients get medications they need to right amounts and exactly at the right moment. Not only does this reduce human error, but it allows nurses to focus on their other aspect of patient care. Principles of curriculum planning. The main principles include this. It has been stated that nations live in the present on the past for the future. Forward-looking principle, creative principle, totality form, activity principle, preparation for life, connecting to life, integration and correlation, comprehensive and balanced, loyalties, variety and flexibility, principle of connecting the community needs with social life. Principle of core subject or common subject, principle of all-round development of body, mind and spirit, principle of democracy, secularism and socialism, principle of dignity of labor, principle of character building, training for leisure, child-centered curriculum. Importance of field trip. Field trip enriches the classroom learning. Field trip provide opportunity to the learners to get first-hand information from natural setting. The monotony and boredom in the classroom teaching is eliminated through the field trip. Field trip gives natural stimulation and motivates the learner to be more interactive and creative. Field trips helps the learner to learn things very quickly and remember them for longer time. It provides the opportunity to solve the individual problem by interacting with a group in a natural setting. Multiple choice questions. Multiple choice is a form of objective assessment in which respondents are asked to select only one correct answer out of the choice from a list. It have standard multiple choice question consists of three core elements, that is the stem, distractors and the answer key. The stem is the beginning of the part of the item, a question or an incomplete sentence statement to be answered or completed by the respondent. Alternatives, it consists of distractors and the key. Key is the correct answer to the question and the distractors are the other options which are similar to the key but they are incorrect. Advantage, it is easy to score, can cover a large content area, high reliability, validity and objectivity. Item analysis is possible. Questions can be reconstructed to address various levels of cognitive complexities. Multiple choice questions disadvantages include not useful to test highest level of cognitive domain, difficulty or time consuming to construct MCQ, provide opportunity to guess, cannot test the writing skill, communication skill, psychomotor and interpersonal skill, and cheating is possible. Principles of evaluation. Determining and classifying what is to be evaluated always have priority in the evaluation process. The objectives must be clearly stated before evaluation is made. Techniques should be selected in terms of purpose to be served. Comprehensive evaluation requires variety of evaluation technique. No single evaluation technique is adequate to evaluate various outcomes. Proper use of evaluation technique require an awareness of their limitations as well as their strength. Evaluation is a means to an end and not an end in itself. Evaluation procedures must contribute to the improved decisions of instruction, guidance and administrative nature. Adequacy of experience should be made in terms of excellence of performance and quality of experience. Record for the practice should be reflect the objectives of practice and give evidence to the extent of achievement of these objectives. For advantage of bedside clinic, puts the student in an actual situation, permits evaluation, develops observation and decision-making skill, developing self-confidence, comparison between reality and theory. For principles of bulletin board, suggested plan for the placement of bulletin board is to be have one near the administrator's office for notices, another near the library or the classroom. Material should be dated to ensure that it does not remain no longer than desired. Material should be changed frequently and systematically. Student contribution should be encouraged. Everybody should be held responsible for regarding reading and knowing. For elements of daily planning, central and subspecific objective, the content, teaching, learning methods, assignments. For techniques of clinical evaluation, traditional or conventional practical exam, case study, observational checklist, viva, voice, OSCE and rating scales. For purpose of counseling, to give the student information on matters important to his adjustment and growth. To get information about student will be help him to solve his problems, to establish a feeling of mutual understanding between pupil and teacher, to help the pupil work out a plan for solving his difficulties. Pamphlet. Difference between pamphlet and leaflet. Leaflet is a printed sheet of paper that contains information intended for free distribution. It consists of only one side of a paper that is printed on both sides. This sheet is folded in half, thirds or fourths. They can be handed out to the people, posted in a public place or sent via post. But pamphlet is a small booklet or a leaflet that contains information on arguments about a single subject. It typically have no hardcover. It may contain a single sheet of paper printed on both sides or few pages that are folded in half and stapled at the middle to make it a book. Demonstration and simulation. Simulation is a teaching technique used particularly in the management, education and training in which real-life situations and values are simulated by substitute displaying similar characteristics. It's an accurate representation of a realistic situation. Advantages include it helps learners to application of knowledge and skill in realistic situation, useful in promoting transfer of learning from classroom to clinical setup. It makes consistency in learning experience from learner to learner. Demonstration is a method of teaching by exhibition and explanation combined to illustrate a procedure or experiment. It is defined as an activity that describes or illustrates by experiment or practical application. During the demonstration, one displays, operates, and explains. Phases are planning, preparation, and performance and evaluation phase. Advantages include helps the learner's application of knowledge and skill in a realistic situation. It is useful in promoting transfer of learning from classroom to clinical setup. Tape recorder and public address system. Tape recorder is used to record sounds on magnetic tape which can be reproduced at will and many times as required. The audio tape recorder, tape deck or tape machine is audio storage device that records and plays back the back sound including articulated voices usually using magnetic tape, either wound or reel in a cassette or a storage. Advantages: recording can be erased and tape can be reused. Tape recorder is easy to operate, has only few controls. It talks of well-known personalities can be recorded at a convenient place and brought into school for replay to the student. For teaching music, phonics and oral reading, poetry and recreation etc. Tape recorder is a form of immense value. Public address system, an electronic sound amplification and distribution system with a microphone, amplifier and loudspeakers used to allow a person to address a large public. Used to extension programs involving large number of people such as mass meeting, training program, field day or farmers day, campaign, exhibition, etc. Cognitive domain and affective domain. Cognitive domain concerned with the knowledge and intellectual abilities consists of 6 hierarchical levels and increasing operational difficulties. The achievement of a higher level of skill assumes the achievement of previous level. They are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Attitude is the attitudes, values, interest, and appreciation. Emotional aspect of an educational objective pertains to change in interest, attitudes, values, development of appreciation, and adequate adjustment. Each affective behavior has corresponding cognitive behavior: receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. Difference between seminar and symposium. Seminar, a topic related to a recent trends in development in nursing, but symposium, topics related to controversial issues in nursing. Seminar, multiple aspects of a topic under consideration is discussed, single aspect of a topic is discussed. Chairman exert less control in seminar, but more control in symposium. Less time for discussion, but more time for discuss involve the participants. Comparatively less preparation from the participants demands more participation from the side of the participants. Thank you.